Hello, goblins. Hope you had a good Christmas and Happy New Year. I had a great New Year's actually. I went round to a party at some friends. It was really lovely. I was making cocktails all night. Mainly margaritas. Um, I decided this year the cocktails would all be tequila based, and although I made one or two others, and I made a slow tequila because I had some slow gin, and so did a friend who I went round to. They had some slow gin of their own that they'd made. But it turns out that really the margarita was the only really nice one. I did make one called the Blue Shark, which is tequila, vodka, and blue curacao. And it was very strong, but not very nice. So it really did wind up just being a margarita bash. So next year I'm going to take along a bigger bar and do some gin and vodka cocktails, I expect. But it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Squeezing limes at a frenetic rate of knots. There's a lot of lime. There's a lot of lime in margaritas, and it's not easy to get hold of squeezed lime juice. You want it fresh. So there you go. Now, I was meant to be doing my top 10 tobacco and other stuff like that. But it didn't happen. I was too busy. And I got caught up with more online shenanigans. It started when Sean Riem, Riem Pipes, got in contact with me. Someone was pretending to be Riem Pipes. It started by creating an account. I'm not sure what the account name they started with, but they were uploading all of his videos and stuff, which is just dirty, underhand shenanigans. He'd reported them, and they'd quickly just changed their name. I'm going to see if this will show up, to Eldritch _pipes. Not my pictures, still Sean Riem's pipes there, and Sean Riem's hand. But as you can see, Eldritch _pipes. Well, enough people stamped on that account that it went away pretty quickly. But not long after that, Pipes Eldritch popped up with like diesel leather account name. Again, I don't know where they were picking their photographs from. Fortunately, they'd stopped trying to fake sell pipes and were now trying to fake sell leather goods, which is I don't understand what's going on there. But anyway, then I also found out that they started a Facebook account, Pipes Eldritch, and I was able to get quite a few people to go onto that page and just say, stop it. Just stop it. What you're doing doesn't even make any sense anymore. You're called Pipes Eldritch, which, weirdly, apparently Facebook doesn't think is contravening any code of ethics. Just copying someone's business name or changing the words. I mean, I guess you can't copyright individual words. But man, just plain, really, why do it, man? Why do it? And at this point, they're not, like I say, even on Facebook, they're fake selling leather goods now. So Pipes Eldritch doesn't even make any sense. It's very weird. But it's not been all doom and gloom, even though that was a bit, I don't know, it just puts you in a funky mood when things like that happen. It's not so much that it's like them thumbing their nose at you or anything. It's just that you spend a long time trying to create a name with a good vibe attached to it. And someone like that, if people encounter them first and then, get shafted like they're going to, then they'll associate those words with a bad experience. And, or worse, they'll have heard good things about Eldritch pipes, accidentally strayed onto this page, get shafted and think that it's me, which is, and just, on top of that, people just losing money to scammers, and it's just, just to be in that sphere of nonsense is, it's not good. But I've also been chatting to a chap called, it's either, I haven't asked him, Travis Fay or Fahey. But anyway, he's one of the few people who fall within that Venn diagram overlap of pipe smoker and Magic the Gathering player. There can't be many of us. And he bought a pipe right at the beginning of the year, and was just saying really nice things, and we've been talking a bit of magic, and it's been really lovely. And he knows the boys into magic as well, so he's sending him a treat, and that is just really lovely. What can I say? It's fantastic, because in these parts, it's one of the few things that binds a lot of generations together. Wolf will play with like adults. He'll play with teenagers. Teenagers will play with him like happily. It's like normally like teenagers wouldn't really think of like, really interacting with like much younger ones, but when it comes to magic, they totally will. It's just a really good thing that binds people together. And I'm all for it. All right. Now, this is an episode of this week's Pipes, so there are going to be some pipes. Oh, did I say what I was smoking? I'm smoking some King Charles, some Germains. Keeps quite well in these packs. It hasn't been sealed and it's been open for a couple of months and it's like still moist. No, smokably moist. It's not too moist. Right. So, this week I made, there's a chap who wanted a 7-day set of reading pipes, and he got one, so I needed to make the other 6. This week I made 3 of them, and then I will get a chance over the rest of the month to cover the rest. And I'll show you how they came out. So they're all reading pipes. I'm going to spoil that part, but they're all different, as is the way of things. So it's worth having a look. They all got a different treatment. So, alright, I'm going to put you down. Maybe it can't talk and smoke at the same time. Or at least it's challenging. So, this is a reading pipe in a chocolate sandblast with amber flame stem. Nearly the first drop of the year, but I didn't get hold of it. Nice detailed blast, not particularly deep, just a textured blast, just enough to bring out some evidence of ring grain and straight grain, and and that. Not too craggy a rim. In fact, none of these have got a super craggy rim. That's a nice, when you see the display of straight grain and the ring grain really kind of prominent. Still toying with my sandblast setup. It's just one of those things where the experimenting never seems to end. I still haven't hit upon a look that I think is like, that's the final one. I've got it. It's always looking for, I don't know, it's kind of like chasing the rainbow on these things. This is a really interesting piece of the amber flame. Really like starting with a top swirl and then it like really kinks around, then sort of like flutters down. And it kind of like breaks off, and then there's this ring of little flames down at the shank end. Always get something different with the amber flame. This is more from the bottom end of the rod, I think, if I recall correctly. So, reading pipe in a chocolate sandblast with amber flame. This next one, I had a different idea for. So, yes, yeah, it is a craggy rim on this fella. It's got more of a slant to it. I hadn't used my olive Cumberland for a little while, and it's one of my favourites. So, since I'd been given some free rein on these set of pipes, I brought out the olive Cumberland again, and it was a really nice piece. I kind of like it when you do get this like two tones, so you get like the colour flowing down one half, but then this kind of like negative space on the other way. So, the black dominates. And this I did in a gold contrast blast. So the darker colour is the chocolate, same from the previous pipe, but blasted back to reveal the grain. Because it was nice and wild, and with the Cumberland, I don't know, it just wanted to see the idea of grain going through. Again, a kind of medium light blast. You got the ring grain coming through. You can see the straight grain. It's a little less prominent on this one, which is, I think, another reason why the contrast blast kind of works. If the straight grain doesn't come out in the blast itself, it can still come out in the contrast. It actually is kind of craggy, isn't it? Look at it. It's a bit mental. I said that they weren't particularly craggy because I was thinking of the one I was looking at and the final one. Little did I know that the middle one was kind of craggy. So there you go. If you are not familiar with these guys, 7.5 inches long, approximately, and 2 inches deep on the chamber, approximately. So that was the second guy. And then the last. So, I never take commissions for smooths. And I must explain why, because some people get confused. It's not because I don't want to do them or I'm opposed to them in any way. It's just that with Briar, you just can't guarantee it. Someone can ask for a smooth, and then the next 5 pipes that you make, 10 pipes that you make, won't make a smooth. You need the Briar to work with you on that score. So that's the only reason I don't take commissions for smooths. Some people may know that I have a list, a separate list for people who want a smooth and are just prepared to wait until one comes up. And I can tell you those people have been on the list for quite a while, because when a smooth pops up, I don't even know what shape it's going to pop up as. So, for example, I might have been in the middle of making a reading pipe or an author or something else, and that comes up as a smooth, and the smooth that they want is a strawberry or an acorn or something like that, and that's the way it goes. Because Stephen wanted 6 reading pipes, it just happened that on the third one, it came out as a smooth. And I decided, I was partly inspired by the stem material again, which is the earth and ivory, that I would just go with a natural smooth, and I love it. I don't think I've ever done a natural smooth reading pipe. It's the luck of the draw. As I was just shaping it, it was like, okay, yeah, if this carries on, I know what's going to happen. And it did, and I was just kind of thrilled. As you can see, the straight grain's nice and strong. Turns into flame grain around this side. But you have your like straight grain just flowing along the shank. That's really cool. Yeah, a fairly well behaved rim on this guy. So yeah, really pleased with him. And that is the earth and ivory stem, which is one of my favourites. That's just lovely. There you go. That's my set. Well, actually, it's half a set, so another 3 to go. I'm pretty sure those will happen throughout the next couple of weeks, and that'll be good. My goodness, I've just looked at the time, how long I've waffled on. 19 minutes. Are you still here? Are you still listening to me? Good for you. All right. I will be back next week with, actually, I don't know what. Some pipes for sure. Some pipes. And if I can get it together, I'll get my top 10 tobaccos of 2022 sorted. Although I've got a niggling feeling that it might be the week after I sort that one out. All right. That's it from me. I hope you are relaxed. I hope you can relax. But if you haven't, then from now till next time, take it very easy. And I'll see you soon. Your loyal pipe maker.